Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in today's video we are going to take a close look at the 8800 GT. This is a 512 MB graphic card from Nvidia. This is based on the new chipset the G92. And if you have seen my previous videos, we already spoken of the 8 series cards. And these are those cards that makes it very fascinating when it comes to graphic cards. Because this thing is also an 8 series card with a different chip, it's a different kind of memory amount. But how is the performance? That we're going to talk about today. Okay guys, so it's a retro card, so we're going to test on my retro bench. This is a Q9550 Intel CPU that is combined with a mainboard of Asus back in the day. It's a P5NT Deluxe version with triple SLI option. And of course we're going to get some good memory. That is 4 GB of very nice overclock memory. So in combination with this graphic card, it's more than enough. So let's take a close look at the specifications of the card. Code name G92, cores 112, clock speed 600 MHz, the memory 512 MB GDDR3. But what is interesting with this card is that this thing is an 8 series card, but it was a newer generation. And it fell between a couple of cards that I've reviewed before. Quite interesting because this thing doesn't consume that amount of energy like the previous models. Didn't get really hot anymore, still very hot, but not that hot like the previous ones. So it was a very interesting card. So let's take a close look at the other models I've reviewed. So having here the 8800 GTX, this monster card. Therefore it also has the 8800 Ultra and the 8800 GTS that I've all reviewed here on the channel. But we take a close look, where does this thing belong? So basically we're going to move it all a little bit around. The 8800 GT, in my opinion, belongs between the GTS and the GTX. It's not better than the GTX, and that is something we're going to show here on the channel. Because when you're looking at the performance of the 8800 GT, it is interesting. And it was, if you're looking at the power consumption and everything that could, it's quite interesting in my opinion. Alright, so the card has been plugged in, the driver has been reinstalled. I'm ready to go. I hope you're ready. We're going to try out the first game, my favorite game, Blaze Rush. It's a pretty cool game, it looks fantastic. We're going to also try this on full HD. Everything put to high, if to come to the quality. Okay, Blaze Rush. And this is a game that is not super demanding, including for the CPU, but just see how it runs on the 8800 GT. Okay, so the 8800 GT is just perfect for when you want to play some basic indie games, some older stuff. As you can see, it's not even using full potential of the graphics card. And that also includes for the CPU. Now go! Fun fact, when we're going to get a Cuphead, it's not really looking like a demanding game, but you can see it pushes the graphics card to 80% of usage. Nevertheless, this is quite a demanding game, but it is still playable now in 2021 on this very old graphics card. So for Ridge Racer, it will be the same story like the previous graphic card. It will give you, let's say, a 30 FPS gameplay. I think it will ruin part of the game because this game is based on speed. But nevertheless, this is what you're going to get when you're having a single 8800 GT inside your gaming machine. It's so cool that you're having this, let's say, little older, but still budget graphics card, and you can still play some three-dimensional games. Okay, so let's try Saints Row number 4, and what I did notice with this game is that even that this card is between the 8800 GTS and the 8800 GTX, yeah, you can see the results of the game are not that great. I'm even dipping to 28 FPS when I'm just playing, and that's something that didn't happen with the GTX or let's say the GTAs. So I'm a little bit disappointed with the performance with this game. Next up, for one of my favorite fighting games, Mortal Kombat 9. Not super demanding, by the way, Mortal Kombat X doesn't even boot up. So let's try this game and let's see how the performance are on this card.
Vengeance will be mine! Bring it! Round 1. Fight! Get over!
Okay, so this game, Bioshock Infinite, I already tested a couple of times on the different cards, and it is not really holding up at the moment with 44, 43 FPS. It's not a great performance. I think it's similar with the 8800 GTS at the moment. So you can see that it sometimes slightly goes up, but that's the best performance we're going to get.
But does it run Crysis? Let's find out.
So if you have seen my previous videos, the 8800 GTX still struggles with this game because this was just the graphic card killer back in the day with the 8 series. So and the 8800 GT is between the GTX and the GTS, so the performance will not be better. But the game is still kinda playable.
Camuflaje activado. Blindaje máximo. Camuflaje activado. Blindaje máximo. Camuflaje activado. Blindaje máximo.
The 8800 GT is a very interesting card, and not for the performance, more like what they were doing with Nvidia over there. And what I mean with this is because the previous models I've reviewed were super expensive, very expensive, energy consuming and getting really hot. And they were like involving these graphic cards into something that were affordable for everybody, was not getting really hot, and of course a lot of problems will be solved because the heat problem was a really big problem. But in the end, when you're looking at this card, the performance, It's a little bit disappointing because it was bored between the 8800 GTS and the 8800 GTX. But yeah, they were focusing more like on the market that can afford a great card, more like a mid-range card that we can play all the games. I want to thank you for watching, consider subscribing, hit the bell, become on the Wicked family, and I will see you in the next video. So in the next video, we're going to use 2 of these bad boys to have some double fun. Or maybe not. Let's find out in the next episode of Wicked Gamer and Collector Graphic Cards Fetish.